We're here at halftime, game 2 of the Premier Basketball League playoff game between the Rochester Razor Sharks and the Saw Valley Predators. Joining us now is the chairman of the board from the Premier Basketball League, of course, Dr. Hrywnak. Hello, how are you today?
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Now, what is HUGS? Because I see your button there. What is that all about?
Well, HUGS stands for Helping Uninsured Get Surgery, and it's a charitable organization I founded last year in Chicago, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank all the member cities in the PBL. They've raised a lot of money, and a lot of people have gotten surgery that otherwise couldn't afford it. Now, so we're kind of thanking everybody wearing a button tonight.
Well, the Premier Basketball League has been around for 5 years now. What has been the biggest success for the whole league?
Well, the success stories is all these kids have an opportunity to play ball that couldn't play before, and I'm very happy that we gave them the opportunity. We got a lot of interns. They got a chance to get their feet wet, so to speak, in sports business and sports management, coaches. So from that aspect, I'm very happy. We've made it to 5 years like we said we would, and we're only going to grow bigger and better for the years to come.
Now, with a franchise, obviously 5 years, it's been around. There have been some ups, there have been some downs. What has been the downside that you've sort of learned from in the last 5 years?
Well, that's a good question. I'm a little bit disappointed. We've had some franchises that we thought were stable enough to come into the league, and we've had some turnover in teams, different teams coming. Sometimes owners exaggerate the finances they have to have a team, but the PBL was always there to back them up. Promises that are made to other teams that aren't kept, and so we kind of had to jump in the first 5 years and help out different cities and ownership groups to make sure that they could get through the year, and then hopefully come back the second year. And then once we found out they couldn't, they didn't come back. So from that aspect, I'm a little disappointed. We didn't have a little bit more stability team-wise. But then you have to look at the overall picture and the way the economy is and things are going. A lot of people have their heart in the right place, but their pocketbooks aren't there.
Well, when it comes to expansion, it's one thing you're always talking about. You want to see the Premier Basketball League grow. What is the future of expansion for the league?
Well, what we're looking at, we liked our regional model we did this year. We think it's successful. There's other basketball leagues out there in the United States that are trying to do the same thing. There's one going to be starting up called the Florida Basketball Association. I wish them great success. That's a great idea, staying within state. There's another one called the Tobacco Road Basketball League. Again, they're staying in the Carolinas. Again, the idea in this economy, and I'm firmly a believer in that, is you have to stay regional. You have to save on the travel costs. And we're going to do doing the same thing. We have applicants from Lehigh Valley, Binghamton, Newark, New Jersey coming in possibly for next year on the east. So if we stay within a 4 to 6 hour bus ride, maybe 8 at sometimes, I think that'll lead to more financial success. What we have to understand, it's still a business, and sometimes one of the other disappointments are that the owners sometimes can't separate basketball from the business aspect, and their passions overtake them. And you have to remember, it's still a business, and we have obligations to sponsors and fans and venues, and we can't let that get in the way of our passion of playing basketball. So I always say, you know, we're competitors on the court, but we're partners off the court.
What about the state of the league, of the Premier Basketball League? You're always talking about that. Things are getting better, TV contracts, and everything is expanding?
Yes, we're expanding, and we always get applications in. A week doesn't go by that we don't get 2 or 3 applications in. Unfortunately, a lot of times these applications are from teams in the new ABA, not the old ABA, and a lot of these owners just would not qualify. But what we've done is we started a mentoring process, and I guess I could say that I still have stock in the new ABA, and we left that, as you know, and formed the Premier Basketball League because of the bad organization, the bad management, and just not fair to the cities and the people that involved, but that's an interview at another time. So as we started our mentoring process this year, we learned to help and bring former ABA teams into the PBL, taught them how to manage. We helped them out financially to get along, to get through the season. And next year what we're probably going to do is to split into 2 conferences, a more established ownership group and ones that are being mentored, and which has never been done in basketball before.
Well, looking forward to it as the Premier Basketball League continues to grow. Thank you, Dr. Seva. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Coming up, more second half basketball action. Game 2, Rochester Razor Sharks taking on Sauk Valley. Coming up next.